guys, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for Thursday, May 19th. And today is a very, very significant day because the energy has been building all week for the next 3 days. So Friday, the 20th, the sun is going to move into Gemini. Logic is going to start to control what we desire. We're going to start to take a look at the yin and yang, the black and the white. We're going to really be redirecting our thoughts, and we're going to be somewhat methodical, and we're going to decipher some of this information. That's what's going to drive us. Not so much our intuition, not so much what we value, but logic. And for some of you that have been desiring logic to come into play, we get redirected, and that feels good for some of you. Another thing that's going to be happening on the 21st, we have Saturday, the full moon, one of the first of 2 full moons in Sag, the beginning of this concept, the pea pod, the seed you put in the soil. Now, this is a full moon. Everybody says, well, it's an accumulation. It's an accumulative effect of old belief systems that no longer serve you. To get a revelation process, to get you to the next, to the end, to the belief system. So we're at the point to where we see the problem and we fixate, and both of these are endings, because beginnings and endings are the same thing. Cumulative energy creates the inspiration for the beginning. It's the same energy. The end of the zodiac and the beginning of the zodiac, it's a karmic cycle. And then we've got the beginning of energy. Ending and beginnings are the same thing. Death and rebirths are the same thing. They are. They really are. So, and then on the 22nd, we have Mercury goes direct, and it releases us from habitual recollection processes. So we're no longer just habitually recalling all the past and everything that has to do with the past, and we're deciphering who and what we value and why we're not doing that anymore. We get to just be released a little bit. So there's a big, I think there's a big, just like, it feels like just a huge release to me when I processed it. So today, many of you will feel intuitively like you are getting a huge, huge signal from the universe for the next three days. I guarantee you. Many of you are being guided to get prepared for a very big change. You know, the moon goes into Scorpio. When the moon goes into Scorpio, when your thought goes into the depths of Scorpios, Scorpio energy is energy that is all about endings and beginnings, the death and the rebirth, transformation, regeneration. It's about all the stuff. It's about the psychology. It's about the way that we feel down to the depths of us. It's spidey senses, but spidey senses on like friggin' heroin or crack or whatever makes everything emphasize even more. I don't know. Tells you, you guys can always tell how much I do drugs because I don't know how to talk about doing drugs. Anyhow, so the logical mind will impose this intuitive feeling, I believe. And I think fears of repeating the past will try to consume the positive energy today. This is a very intensely feeling motivated day. The feelings that come up today, I feel brew from deep within. And I believe that when that happens, your intuition is heightened and you are pointed. But I believe that that can be a little bit scary for some of you that are not used to having this type of intensity and energy. You know, I believe that many of you are on the horizon and you feel it. I believe that this is an extreme change. This is not an extreme change. This is a gradual change that supports both your hopes and longevity, that will generate prosperity for years to come. I believe that we're kind of at this point in our lives where for many of us that are being guided, we're allowing energy to guide our choices. We're not resisting. so that it persists. This karmic lessons persist. No, we're at the point to where we've submitted and we're asking to be guided out of these situations that no longer serve us. And I think for some of you, you're being guided toward things that have significant longevity and the possibility of a very prosperous outcome, tangibly and intangibly, Taurian type energy. I believe that today is filled with signals. Be very, very mindful of the way you feel. At one moment, it could feel like you're very, very intensely hopeful. And there's a feeling of, it's almost like a euphoric feeling. Like if you feel extreme energy, it's almost like you're being so guided. Now, some of you, I know that whenever the moon goes into Scorpio, I have Neptune in Scorpio. It's in my 6th house, so I'm very mental. Every time the moon goes into Scorpio, I always have this mental trip I go on. My spidey senses go off all the time. It's a very, very intense time for me. And, you know, my intuition is on like fire. I mean, you know, God help it if somebody does anything wrong, because intuitively I'm going to be able to just in spidey senses know that they did something to me, because it's just that time of like, you know, I really get a revelation process. So for some of you, pay attention to where maybe Scorpio is, and maybe pay attention to like if it's being emphasized, because I believe there's a lot of energy buzzing around where your Scorpio lies in your natal chart. Just pay attention to what you feel. I deeply believe that this can be an intense time. And intensity can be confused with fear. It can be confused with something bad and ominous is coming, because you just have these intense, strong feelings, but you don't know why. Just be mindful that if you're intuitive, this is going to be one of those days, and it's because you're feeling the next 3 days coming. Or that you've been probably feeling them all week, and today feels like extremely agitated, extremely energetic, and there's just an intensity about the day. You may be feeling a little too intense. It's just because you're feeling what's coming in the next 3 days. And don't be fearful of feeling this intensity. You're being guided too, but intuitively, if you've been... you know, when you're an intuitive, this stuff just feels super overwhelming. You're going to be okay. You really are, because this is a beautiful and magical day. And as the energy builds, we are going to get some of the most amazing energy coming our way to create some long-term stability in areas of our life that I don't think we've had stability in maybe even our lifetimes. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow.